So far, we have been observing that during the 1400 to 1500s, the century known in Italian art and cultural history as the Quattrocento, there were quite a few things in flux. The short bullet list version, the Bubonic Plague, aka the Black Death, had killed possibly a third to a half of the population of Europe. This second plague pandemic spread and festered across Asia and Europe, introduced via Genoese traders from a port in the Crimea in 1347, and coming back in spurts throughout the period from 1347 through the 17th and even into the 18th and 19th centuries, when it was endemic to the western United States. The plague had social and economic consequences. Economically, European laborers were in great demand, leading to a new respect for workers, better wages for skilled workers like carpenters, iron workers, weavers, wool makers, and dyers, challenges to the ages-old blood nobility, and a new confidence in challenging the collusion between old moneyed interests and the church. There were also challenges to the gendered social order, even within classes. We saw unrest surfacing in Lope de Vega's play Fuente Ovejuna, which celebrated the victory of the common folk of a town against the abuses of the local nobility, and in the rising up of the women and their supporters against the abusive Don Juan in Tirso de Molinas, the playboy of Seville. New sources of income were changing the landscape as well. Spain and later Portugal were profiting from riches brought back from the Americas after 1492. Italian traders from Genoa and Milan briefly took over the Silk Road trade. The Ottoman Empire was on the rise, and midway through the century had become a major trading partner and ex-war enemy throughout Europe. And in Siena, Italy, a new method was being invented of becoming rich without large landholdings, utilizing pooled money to finance expeditions and make money from insuring trading voyages, the beginnings of modern banking. The laws around accessing money by women, ex-slaves, and the lower class were being scrutinized and sometimes even renovated, and so a new mobility for the non-noble, non-landowning classes seemed on the horizon, at least. Ancient Greek and Latin texts were being imported from the Greek East and Arab Near Eastern regions especially, and these texts were being read in the original languages and accessed more directly without Christian filters, allegories, and parsing by a small group of educated men and women. These humanists, men such as Thomas More and Desiderius Erasmus, found that some pagan authors, most prominently Plato and Cicero, spoke in terms they could well understand and approve of about God, earthly beauty that seemed to point to the divine, and also about statesmanship and how to live with, discuss politics, and govern along with one's fellow citizens. The same humanists were reading the scriptures in the original Greek and Hebrew now, and wondering aloud and in print whether the church and its various bishops, priests, and dogmas might sometimes be wrong in their interpretations. Perhaps they were hindering, not helping, average Christians in achieving a true, direct connection with God through prayer and service to others. Spiritual leaders such as St. Teresa of Avila, St. John of the Cross, Meister Eckhart, and many others were experiencing God personally through ecstatic prayer and visions, and writing about their personal connections in an inspiring way. The fall of Constantinople to the Islamic Ottoman Empire in 1453, right in the middle of the century, and subsequent trade and warfare with Muslim-headed states, now including Greece itself, led to an influx into Italy and Europe generally of refugees and also enterprising traders from Eastern Christian areas like Turkey, North Africa, Egypt, and even via the Sicilian route in the west, we noticed bringing manuscripts and artworks and technical skills. Up until 1492, when Spain formally expelled most of its Jewish and Muslim citizens, and parts of Italy followed suit, at least temporarily, Islamic and Muslim cultural and artistic sharing abounded throughout Italy. And the mix with and reaction to Byzantine art Italo-Byzantine style actually helped to shape the technique and vision of early painters like Cimabue and Giotto, who in turn taught the greats of later eras.